Hey guys, what's up here with another replay commentary. Today we're playing as Zac Jungle, one of the best jungles right now in this Cinderhulk patch, this whole Cinderhulk era, with the big bruiser, massive tanks coming out. I was a bit inaccurate actually, it's not really the bruisers, it's just like the flat out tanks. You know, Sejuani, Zac, Gragas, that kind of thing. I'm doing something slightly different today. I've got my webcam on, you can see me down here in the bottom right. Hi. Doing that just because a lot of people, they don't prefer these replay commentaries to the live ones. Now, I'm not stopping my live ones by any means. These are a bit more convenient for me to do. Maybe this will make it slightly more interesting to watch if you can, you know, if there's a face to look at as well. So first things first, this game starts off quite quickly when we go for a little bit of an invade, but no, invades in solo queue often don't really work out too well. I don't do them personally, mostly because I can't be bothered, because, you know, the success chance compared to, you know, the effort involved in doing it isn't really worth it for me. Whether or not you want to invade in solo queue is something I don't really talk about too much, because like I said, I don't do it. But if you do want to, then you need to have a good catch potential level 1, some good CC. But even if you don't, honestly, you don't even really need a good team combo level 1, because you're not really going to be fighting a 5v5. You're just catching someone out of position. So as long as you think you have a the potential to do that and you've got your teammates on board, then invades can actually be pretty good. Zac Jungle, Runes and Masteries, I like to go for attack speed reds, AP blues, AP quints, and armor yellows. You can go for armor quints if you want to do that as well. Just the AP option gives me more damage early and also improving my clear too. Masteries, I like to go 2190, I go 2190 on pretty much everyone. This game, Zac Jungle, I'm starting at the bottom side here, on the side where my bot lane can give me help. If I was on the red side of the game, red side of the map, sorry, I would start at the Gromp. Again, just getting help from my bot lane. And pretty simple kind of mechanics, so to speak, for Zac. All you do is you blob, you pick up your blobs, and then you blob again, and then you pick up your blobs, and you blob again. So I like to start with my W level 1, because you can spam that. It does, you know, it's best for clearing, and then you get your Q, and just line up your abilities so you hit as many of them as possible, as many minions as possible with your abilities. Like I say, don't forget to pick up your blobs. You need to do that to have good sustain when you're clearing. And Zac is one of these champions who, in the first first 3 levels, he actually takes a lot of damage when he's clearing. But anything like level 3 onwards, he's actually very efficient at doing it, because all of his abilities will spawn these blobs which heal you and reduce the damage of your W. So the more abilities you can cast, the more sustain you have effectively, and the faster you clear, which again works towards the sustain side of things, because you kill so fast and don't take as much damage. So I'm doing a full clear here. Usually I don't do a full clear. I go back early to buy Ranger's Trailblade, well, not even Ranger's, just my Smite upgrade. But I just did a full clear this game. Mostly just testing it out, honestly, but Zac is, you know, definitely more than capable of doing that. You will struggle before you get level 3, but after that you're fine. So I've gone for a Skirmisher's Saber here and tier 1 boots. Now Skirmisher's Saber, you know, your Smite upgrade is kind of preference. I went for Skirmishers because it will allow me to just jump into the back line, smite like the enemy AD carry, whoever it may be, and still be, you know, not take too much damage from them, and boots just to help me gank. Now this is the first gank of the game coming out of me on Zac. Now I'm level 4, which is, you know, it's very early on. Pre-6 Zac's ganks are not amazing. I'm going to roll this but just a bit slower. And the reason why I'm ganking this lane is just because they're very far pushed up. Now, it's slightly risky because there's loads of minions here for the enemies, which means we're going to take a lot of minion damage. But if we can catch someone, it shouldn't really matter about the minions. We should be able to get an easy kill. Now, sadly, Morg misses her binding. And when I place my jump, it's where I think Morg is going to land her binding. But that doesn't hit, you know, it happens. But MF gets a little bit greedy here going in onto the Lucian, but still nothing I can really do anything for. So my attempt at a gank this early actually ends up in the enemy team getting a free kill and me wasting my time, and, you know, as you can see here, I'm low on health as well. So I'm sticking around here just for a little bit to see whether or not Lucian gets dove. If they dive in, then obviously I want to be there to help him, because they probably can dive him 2v1, but if I'm there, then they won't be able to, and we can mop up from that. But still, that was pretty much pretty horrendous, to be honest. You know, the enemy team had too much of an advantage for me to gank there. Pretty bad idea from me, especially after if we don't hit that first CC from Morg's Q, nothing's going. And pre-6 as well on Zac, ganks are nothing special, really. So I'm just going to keep farming the jungle, keep clearing it here. I'm seeing that Shen as well is getting, you know, he's being picked on a little bit. Always keep your eyes on the minimap, guys. If you watch my 10 tips for jungling video, you'll have noticed that that's one of my tips, is to just watch the lanes, keep your eye on the minimap. Because if people are in trouble, then you're going to want to go and help them. Like, there's no real reason for you to do a jungle camp over moving to a lane and showing your face and potentially helping them if you see them getting chased, or you can, you know, have an opportunity to counter or something like that. So I've gone back, bought a Ruby Crystal, some wards, nothing special here, obviously that's going towards Cinderhulk, and I'm starting my jungle rotation again. This is kind of like the second rotation after where I'm going to be taking my buffs again. Now I've got level 6 here, which is pretty much standard timing to be getting level 6. You want to be getting level 6 while you're taking your second buff around that time, if possible, then, you know, even before then, but that's kind of like what you should be aiming for. And now I'm looking at a gank in the spot lane, because these guys are all level 5, I'm level 6. Now my allies are only level 5 as well, but still overall I think we have an advantage here. Fiddlesticks is not really that strong in these situations. He's only really threatening when he can get his ult and he can engage that way. Has Shed woken up? Yes, yeah, as you can see. There he is, the rascal that is always my excuse when I say my bedroom's messy. And he wants to go out. Go on, Shady. Come on, I'm trying to break down a team fight. Alright, here we go. Sorry. Okay, we're back in the game, guys. Back in the game. So, this should work in our favour if I can get a good engage off, but at the same time, if I can't, then it's not going to. I don't want to force things too much. Like, I'm not exactly fed or anything like that. Now, this is great positioning by... if I do say so myself. That sounds a bit big-headed, but this is good positioning, because I know this isn't warded here. Which means if I check the vision here, F2, they can't see me here. And if they can't see you, then they're gonna... If these guys don't think I'm here, then they may, overextend, initiate onto something, or engage onto something. Dedicate is probably the best word, dedicate onto something without thinking I'm there, and then I can come in, I can turn it around. So... Going into this fight here, they have no idea I'm here. I jump in, knock up just the MF actually, but also Shen ults onto me here. So I'm kind of just doing as much work on all the people as possible. Hello, Shad. But I end up chasing MF here because I think she's the best target for me to just mop up a kill. Of course, she can't really do anything against me. Zac actually has a fair amount of damage. Like, you'd be surprised, especially like when I've gone for this rune setup where for like 40 AP. And we get the free kill there. Almost kill Thresh here. But this is definitely going to be a dragon. Like, 100% going to be a dragon here, which is why I'm engaged, which is why I'm going to start it. I mean, we got Shen down here a bit maybe overkill him showing up. It didn't really need to show up, but it doesn't mean we can take this dragon away faster. This is a game I was doing with GripX as well, which me and him were on communication, which is why he ulted in here. And yeah, with Shen's Q, taking these things away is really easy. And honestly, Zac is very good at taking away dragon just by himself. It's even possible, I've seen people do it at level 4, because your W does percentage health damage, I'm pretty sure, yeah. So if you can spam your W away, it actually kills dragon relatively quickly, considering you also can use it to sustain yourself. Now, I didn't do it that early this game, but know that Zac is a champion who can take away dragons very efficiently just by himself. So we managed to get that good work down in the bot lane. We got the kill, we secured the dragon, and now we've gone and we're just going to clear the rest of the camps. Now this is something which makes me rather sad here. I'm killing the chicken camp without actually getting a chicken smite bonus. Now I always see, I'm not even really aware that I say these things, but apparently I say chicken smite bonus all the time. And that's because it's bloody strong, so I should be drilling that into your brains. Chicken smite bonus whenever you can. You want to be smiting those chickens. Denying vision, really powerful. And here again, I'm just full clean. There's not really too much to talk about, honestly. So let me just speed this up. This is how you kind of ensure you don't fall behind. But also here as well, what I'm doing now is I was trying to go onto this Cassiopeia here in the mid lane, thinking we have Shen to help, and of course Grippy is my duo mate, so it should work out. But he's got a bit too greedy for the crab. I go a bit too deep here. This is an ult again, which is a bit too late, but it doesn't matter. It's okay. I died to Cassiopeia, but it's a 1-for-1 trade in the end. A bit of miscommunication there. I went too hard. Shen wasn't ready to go hard enough with me, so we traded 1-for-1. But it's going 1-for-1 is not amazing, of course. I mean, you're trading, but these things could be a lot worse. So it's not that bad. So I've got my Cinderhulk now, which makes me clear faster. It makes me pretty big. Of course, the more health you have on Zac, the bigger you become in your model, which is always kind of cool. And you also want to be stacking a lot of health on Zac as well. The reason for that is because your abilities cost a percentage of your current HP, but they heal you, the blobs heal you for a percentage of your max HP. So the more health you have, the more healing you're going to be getting out of your blobs, and just overall, really, the more you'll heal with the more health you have. So I'm just going to take the crab away here as well. Crab's always a good thing to get whenever you can, especially if you're playing carry junglers, farm junglers, Devourer junglers especially. Gives you 80 gold per pop, and also gives you Devourer stacks. Really good stuff. So again, I'm just going to pause here, because this is good positioning for Zac to be ganking. This is kind of what you want to be doing when you're ganking on Zac. If I can change there we go, I remember the hotkey. So see, this is warded, but I didn't know, although apparently I'm hidden here. But over these walls, imagine this isn't warded here. Okay, it's warded here as well. I can't really give you a good example, but if they can't see you over the walls, like how I did down here, these are really good engages for Zac because he jumps really far over them. So this is kind of the positioning I want here for the gank, but of course I don't know, but it's warded here, so I'm not going to get anything going, and I ended up wasting a bit of my time. But this is what I was trying to do, setting up ganks. We discover a pink ward, and we're just going to take this down instead. So nothing going in the mid lane, sadly, but it's alright. I do have my ult up still. Whenever you have pretty high impact ultimates. Are we going in on this? We're going on this. Okay, I want to rewind this a little bit. This is kind of cool. Whenever you have high impact ultimates, guys, like Zac has, Rengar, Vi, kind of Lee Sin, kind of Jarvan, but champions with these really good ults, you want to be ganking whenever they're up. You don't want to be wasting them and sitting on them too much. Let me just rewind here, because what I did here is I kind of give up from one area and then go in on another area where I know it's not going to be warded because of the pink ward here. So again, I'm just really going hard on this mid lane, because Cassiopeia is a champion who has no escapes in herself. She can be fast if she lands skill shots, but apart from that, she's squishy and she doesn't have an escape. It's the same for Xerath and Victor. These champions who are immobile so to speak, at least compared to other champions, like Zed and LeBlanc in mid lane. Very easy to gank, especially when you have someone like Ahri in your team who can catch up to them, who can charm them. And then when you're Zac as well, you've got a lot of CC yourself. So I like camping these mid laners who are particularly mobile. And this is just a really, I don't know why I even rewinded this, because nothing's going to happen here that's too interesting. I just catch up onto Cassiopeia, kill her. I die, sadly though. I flashed, which is a bit of a waste. I mean, I flashed into another tower shot as well, so that was a bit of a waste of my flash, but still. I was a bit unfortunate not to actually just catch Cassiopeia in my first few bounces. I had to tower dive her pretty heavily, but, I mean, again, trading 1 for 1, and actually in this instance, I'm okay with this trade, just because I kind of like getting Ahri's snowballing. Ahri's snowballing is pretty good, because then they can run around the map and they're assassins as well, so it's all good. Although, of course, it is also worth saying that just because, I'm okay with these players trading like this doesn't necessarily mean that I could have done something better. And obviously, these are just these are things which execution things which I can be doing better. Like, for example, if I had hit that Cassiopeia early, I wouldn't have had to Dover so hard and probably would have got away. So, things to think about as well. As far as skill order goes, though, on Zac, maxing your E first is best for better range, and better range on your jump, that is, on the E, and also burst damage. And outside of that, maxing your Q second is what I like to go for to improve just overall damage there. You don't really need to max your W second because it already has a really low cooldown and it does percentage health damage, which means that the damage it does is kind of dependent on the amount of health the enemy has, as opposed to how many ranks you put in your W. So that's why I go for EQW skill order. Item build as well, of course, I'm going for this Spectre's Cow here because they've got Cassiopeia and Fiddlesticks who are going to be doing a lot of damage to me. So, what I want to talk about here, which is what I'm going to pause now, is this is a team fight which can be really good for our team. Now, the reason why I think this team fight can be really good for our team is kind of two big reasons. Firstly, this is a good position for us to be fighting, and secondly, this is a bad position for them to be fighting. Now, let me just break that down. So the reason why I think this is a good position for us to be fighting is because if you get Zac jumping in the middle of this, you're going to be causing a hell of a lot of disruption, you're going to be doing a lot of damage to everyone, you're going to be doing a fair amount of CC bouncing on everyone. Then you have Morgana, you can come in and follow up and use her ulti and just lock everyone down. You've got Shen, who can ult on me. Like Shen can use his ulti on hard initiating champions. Jarvan's a good example, Rengar's a good example, Zac a good example as well. He can use his ult, and then as the hard initiate jumps in, he pops up as they jump in. It's a really, really good way of using Shen ult, not just for the shield. And, Lucian is not bad in these fights. He can cull everyone out. Just that whole team is decent in this area, right? Certainly not bad by any means. Now, the enemy team, if I just look at... how do I get there? There we go. The enemy team is not as good in this situation, mostly for one huge reason. And that's this guy here, Fiddlesticks. Now, Fiddlesticks in these fights, if the roles were reversed, I would put this fight in their favour, but because they're not, this fight, in my opinion, heavily goes in our favour. Because Fiddlesticks, when you initiate onto him, can't really use his ultimate in any really effective way, which means that he becomes almost useless in team fights. Genuinely almost useless in team fights. So if you can engage onto these people and just, it just crush them as you're going in, he's not going to be able to do anything, and really it's the worst positioning for a Fiddlesticks to be in. He wants to be lurking in the back, wait for the hard engage, and then engage on top of that hard engage. If Fiddlesticks, for example, was standing here, baiting our engage, and then he would ult in, be quite smart by him, but because he's here, in the middle of the fight, really bad positioning. So, good fight for us, bad fight for them. Now, I'm going to go back and just show what happens. So I'm going to go around the side here, and like I say, with the whole kind of Shen business about the hard engage, we know this is just such bad positioning by the enemy team. They're going to get destroyed. Some of them are still even killing the bloody Skullcrab. I mean, come on, just focus on the dragon. This is for the enemy team. Focus on the dragon, guys. This is a diamond game, mind you. Okay, diamond. This happens in diamond. Okay, so really, really good positioning for us. We're getting the perfect pincer move in here. Like, this could not be going any better for us right now. 3 people from the top side, me coming in from down here as well. Shen's going to ult on top of me, most likely. These guys are completely screwed. Like, 3 people in the dragon pit, they're even split themselves. It's just such an easy fight for us. But let me show you what happens if I remember correctly. I go in here. They miss the hook as well. Morgana goes in as well. I get ulted with Shen. We're going for the fight. What's going on? Me and Shen are in the middle of this fight, fighting. They're all dedicating onto our front line. And look at this. Completely open to be killed, to be destroyed by themselves. And I don't even know why, but no one goes in. Ahri has a roll up. Lucian has his culling. They just all run away. Morgana has flash and ulti up. I'm always a big proponent that, your teammates don't hold you back in solo queue. You shouldn't be worrying about your teammates. Just look at what you can do. This is an example, in my opinion, where I'm just going to flat out say it. This was a huge cock up by my team. I genuinely feel like my team made a big mistake not going in here. Having said that, you still want to look at the positives from the situation. I think this was a good engage by us. Maybe we should have engaged out here instead onto the Cassiopeia and Misfortune. So maybe we misplayed the initiation a little bit. But just because this went bad for us, I don't necessarily feel like we made a poor decision. And still, you have to look at the bigger picture. And, you know, the bigger picture is, you know, sometimes frustrating things happen from your teammates. You know, I don't want to sit here, like, you may think that, oh my goodness, why is Fox blaming his team? I don't want to sit here and pretend that these problems don't exist for you guys, that teammates don't do dumb things, because of course they do dumb things, just like you and I do dumb things. It's not about these dumb things, you know, that they don't happen for other people, and that they do happen for you. It's about when these dumb things happen, just accept, yeah, teammates did a dumb thing in solo queue, it happens, of course it happens. It's solo queue. And just, you know, don't get worked up about it. You know, it's frustrating, of course it's frustrating, but it doesn't, the game goes on, you know, that things happen. So just play it out, and, you know, don't just, you know, start raging and flaming and just being like really defeatist and being like, how am I meant to win this game with teammates like this? It's impossible to carry these games. Oh my goodness, you know, shut up, get that stuff out of here. You know, it happens, dumb stuff happens. Anyway, with that out of the way, we're going back to the game here. Now, we're slightly behind, which is actually really bad for us in this game, because Cassiopeia and Aurelia are two champions which, in my opinion, scale really, really hard. Aurelia obviously scales extremely hard with items. She becomes very powerful, and I think Cassiopeia as well, the new Cassiopeia, becomes a huge, like, machine gun champion, the more items she has as well. So it's risky for us to go into the late game, but at the same time, we also have a lot of catch, which means we can find people out of position, and we can kill them, and, you know, we don't necessarily need the... Let me just rewind this a little bit, sorry. We don't necessarily need, you know, to be fighting 5v5. Now, I'm going to pause right here, because this is a part where you look at the minimap and you try and make a play with the information that you've got at hand, right? This is also a play which is quite an opportunist play. So if you look at the top lane, Shen is way out in the middle of nowhere. He's a free kill, which the enemy team, of course, jumps on. 3 people, in fact, jump on this, which is a bit extreme, honestly. But we also see there are 2 people in the mid lane. That's the support and this immobile mid lane, the Cassiopeia. So they're pretty weak in this mid, but all their strength is in the top lane. They set a disproportionate amount of strength to this top lane, and the mid lane is pretty weak right now. Like we can expose that. So what I do here is I know that top lane is getting engaged upon, so I decide that it will be a good idea for us to do a counter engage. I wait for my team to get in position, and then I initiate here. Again, I over position my ulti, but still, we jump in. We manage to catch Cassiopeia, and we catch Thresh, and we get 2 kills for the 1 kill that the enemy team got top lane, because we were opportunists, and we took the, well, of course, that's what opportunist means. We took the opportunity that was presented to us when they were out of position, and we fought them. So that is just, you know, it's really important that whenever something goes wrong for you, that you try to turn it around and do something right for you, I guess. Maybe I'm not explaining that too well, but basically, if we tried to go and help Shen top, that wouldn't have done anything. That wouldn't have happened. Nothing good would have come out of that, because he was already dead. But if we just try to take an opportunity elsewhere, then we can kind of make up for it. In fact, we actually got even better off by getting 2 kills. Now, we saw this fight that's developing in the mid lane. Meanwhile, I was just like in their jungles, like trying to recall and trying to get still their blue buff, which wasn't actually up. But now I've decided, you know, I wanted to recall. I don't know how much gold I've got actually. How much gold do I have? I got 1.3k, so I got enough gold that I want to go back, right? But my team's fighting, I see an opportunity to stay, so I'm charging my jump right into Aurelia's face, and get a shutdown on her. So this was I don't know if anyone was paying attention to the minimap while watching this, probably not. I know I wasn't, but I was, you know, I spent a lot, this whole fight, I was just over here, and that fight lasted quite a long time, because I was in 2 minds about recalling or not. I decided not to recall, because I was like, you know what, let's try and do something. You know, even if you're recalling, always keep your eyes on the minimap, always just see, should I be staying here? Should I be doing something here? And, just look for those opportunities. So the second big item that I bought on Zac here is my Spirit Visage. Now, Spirit Visage is a great item on Zac. CDR is great, health is great, MR is fine, depending on who you're playing versus. But also the increased regen on it means that you heal even more from your blobs, which is, really good synergy actually with Zac. Also, I've upgraded my totem. You always want to be upgrading your totem, guys. That's very, very important. Now, there's been a bit of an overextension here in the bot lane by the enemy team. They've killed our guys. So I fancy a play here. But this doesn't really end too well for us, because I get feared as I'm blobbing in, which is, a bit unfortunate, really, but still it happens. Lucian can come in, though, and he mops up, and I mop up the Thresh here myself. So this is something, again, keep your eyes on the minimap for plays which you can counter. They got 1 kill out of that, we got 3. A lot of plays this game haven't really been started by us, but have kind of actually been started by them, which we have turned around. You saw that in that situation, I ran down bot lane and I managed to pick up some of those kills because I had good awareness of that was happening. And playing these tanky champions, you can actually just buy a lot of time for yourself in these situations. Like, I jumped into the middle there, And I was just like bobbing around, doing my own thing for quite a while before Lucian got in, because I'm a tanky person. That's kind of what the tanks do. They don't necessarily carry all by themselves, but they set up the situations, the positioning for their teammates to carry. And that's kind of why, actually, honestly, in my personal opinion, the tank meta is a bit hard for me to play, because I prefer playing the kind of harder carry champions like bruisers. But again, this is a. I want to pause this because I actually remember this happening. I played this game ages ago, but for some reason I remember a lot of details about it. This right here is a differing opinions, I think, in solo queue. Now, my team is pinging, if I remember correctly, it was Morgana pinging the Baron, because they want to go and take Baron while the enemy team is doing Dragon. Now, I don't want to do that for two big reasons. The first reason is that I don't think that the enemy team will be so distracted onto Baron for long enough that we will be able to kill... distracted onto Dragon so long enough that we'll be able to kill Baron in the time that they're doing Dragon. And secondly, we don't really have... I guess these 2 points are linked, but we don't really have the damage to take away Baron very effectively. We've got a Lucian who doesn't have a Blazer and King. Not saying that's a bad build, but Blazer and King is usually something which you kind of need to take away Baron quickly. Now, Lucian is okay at taking Baron, but he's not like a Vayne or a Kog'Maw or something like that. And he doesn't have this blade, which makes it go very fast. Our top lane is just Shen, who is full tank. He's got no bloody damage on Baron. I actually have a decent amount of damage, but still, nothing special. Ahri, again, it's not like an Azir or a Cassiopeia who will gun down this Baron. These aren't, this isn't a team that is going to be able to destroy Baron. So I don't want to do it. I don't want to do Baron. I don't think we can. However, again, similar to the point that I made for the last Dragon fight, these, in my opinion, are the fights we really should be taking. There's no reason for us not to take... Look at this Fiddlesticks. He's going to be useless in this team fight. He doesn't even have a Zhonya's yet. Like, champions who kind of need Zhonya's and who don't have Zhonya's are often really bloody weak before they get it. Morgana, Fiddlesticks are two big examples of people who can have massive impacts in fight with the Zhonya's and pitiful impacts without it. And again, he needs to be in a position where he can get his ult off. This is not one of them. Excuse me, this Fiddle is not going to be able to do too much about this fight. This is a fight... I've got bloody hiccups, I swear, man, I'm sorry. This is a fight we want to take. My team doesn't want to take it. Again, my opinion, that is a mistake. And I actually get hooked by Thresh as well when I'm trying to jump in. But, these are things, these are all missed opportunities for us, in my opinion. And it's just, it's kind of frustrating. But like I said, it happens. It's not about having bad teammates, not being able to carry them. It's just about, well, when your teammates do bad things, whatever. And again, this is my opinion. Like, I personally feel like there's not too much to say about that. I mean, I don't think it was that difficult decision to do Dragon instead of Baron. But it's my opinion, right? This Morgana has a different opinion. I have a different opinion. Whatever, So, yeah. Now I'm going to go and take the Skull Crab here. I haven't actually done this enough this game. You notice I usually take this a lot more when I'm playing champions, playing junglers, because I feel like it is very important. But this is not one of those games where I have, in fact, actually just leave the Skull Crab there because I feel like this is a good time to go in. I tried to jump onto the Fiddlesticks to interrupt his ulti, but sadly, that's not happening. He manages to ult at the last second. I get flubbered. I'm in my passive here, but I should be okay. But still, this is a great fight for us. We go 4-0. There's not really too much to talk about that fight, though. They just didn't actually have a lot of damage. And, again, I jump into like 3 people. I'm just buying time, really. I'm just bobbing around, whatever it is. Just doing that kind of stuff. Now, from this advantage, we have two major options, I should say. Pushing towers down and securing Baron. Whichever one you do after you've won a team fight is kind of up to you. Both have strengths and weaknesses. Pushing down towers gives you permanent benefit of the fact that towers are, the towers don't respawn. But getting Baron means that you can often, if you want to push to win the game, then Baron can be more useful. And also, if you take Baron, it stops the enemy team from taking Baron because it's a neutral objective. So, that's why I tend to lean more towards wanting to do Baron, because if Baron is down, it's hard to throw. You rarely see teams throwing by pushing towers down, but you very often see teams throwing because they're trying to take Baron. So, yeah, I mean, that's just my personal opinion, but whatever. We'll get Baron later. Lucian gets caught out of position here. Whatever it happens, people always get caught out of position. Don't pretend like it's never happened to you. I looked maybe to initiate a fight there. That wasn't happening. Shen's a little bit caught up the creek here, but still, this is a play which, like I was saying before, with what I was talking about, you can either push or take down Baron. Now they killed our AD carry, who is obviously the MVP of our team. Lucian is the AD carry. Lucian's probably our most fed member next to Ahri. I mean, technically speaking, he's just as fed as Ahri, really. He's just got more deaths, and he's an AD carry. So of course, we're very hamstrung here by not having our AD carry. But again, this Fiddle positioning, I'm not trying to hate on Fiddlesticks, but it makes it very easy for us. Like in Fiddle, when you're playing Fiddle, if you get collapsed on in these team fights, it's the worst case scenario. Unless you can maybe stand at the back and still ult, that's not easy to do though. So they're doing Baron here. They've got a pretty good team to do it as well. They're not going to take a lot of damage with Fiddlesticks and Aurelia. They're going to be able to take it quite quickly with Cassiopeia. Not very quickly, but fairly quickly. And yeah, so it's 4v5 basically. And we don't have the Skull Crab for the vision, so that sucks as well. They also get the move speed boost around this fight. So I'm looking for a good position here to really just to go in, basically. That's what I'm thinking here. I mean, these guys are probably trying to peel off as well, because I don't want to get caught throwing a Baron play. And I'm looking for an opportunity just to jump in and maybe fight here. But I'm looking at the damage to the Baron, because the enemy team is kind of in two minds about what they want to do. Whether they want to do Baron or whether they want to peel off. It's not dying very quickly. So it means we're given a lot of time to make a decision. Now Shen does have his ult up as well, so he can potentially jump in on me if I want to initiate here. But, you know, they're not stopping. I mean, they're kind of doing it, but they're not really doing it. And I'm just looking for the perfect time. I'm looking for the time to go in and to make this fight happen. Now, this is where I want to pause, because this is kind of like the next big development in this fight. Because the enemy team has finally decided to, you know, pull the trigger. And they've changed their focus here to dedicating onto us. Thresh has flashed in. He's trying to catch Ahri here. Now, as you can see, they're still really split. That doesn't make any sense. Like, they're still pretty split. Okay, you know, they've got two people in the Baron pit, two people just outside, and one guy proper hard in the back line. However, we're also very split. I mean, we couldn't even really be further split, honestly. We're like a bloody, like, pentagon sign here, or some crap like that. We're almost in, like an upside-down triangle, like, dush, 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 dush. I mean, we're split. But, you know, so far they haven't actually caught onto this Ahri too hard just yet, although that could happen. So I'm still keeping my eyes peeled, because they've, you know, they're also in a bit of, you know, two minds about it a little bit. And this is a good spell shield by Ahri, although it turns out she doesn't need it. But now this is where it kind of turns into our favour a little bit. Fiddlesticks here is channeling his ulti because he knows he's going to have to use his fight here. Even if he uses his ulti right now, that's not really a good ulti for him. It's not, you know, I don't know, like, he's not going to hit anything. He's going to have to run and hope that, you know, this fight carries on. I don't know. Although, as you can see, Shen looks like he's got his ult, Fiddle's ult in his sights, which means he's probably going to want to try and intercept that. But at the same time, this has now become a proper pincer move by us. We're like squeezing in on them. You know, we've got three people this side and Shen on the top side, and these guys are in a very vulnerable position. If you're playing Cassiopeia here, you're not necessarily looking at the back line. You're probably trying to catch your own ass here from the Shen. I mean, if you're being pressured from behind and you're a carry, of course you're going to be mindful of that. So Shen comes in, interrupts the Fiddle ult. So that's a great start for us. And now, again, they're splitting. They've got three people here onto this. Where's Fiddlesticks? Oh, there he is. Hey, Fiddle, how you doing? Holy shit. So three people have gone back onto the Shen here, which is perfect. I mean, that's what Shen wants. Meanwhile, Thresh and MF are all split on the side here. I jump in, and, you know, I back my buddy up here. Morgana goes for the Thresh. I kill Aurelia. I also try and kill this Fiddlesticks here, who almost dies, but not quite. And then in the back line here, perfect fight, MF goes down. We kill three people, none of us die, and our Lucian's just respawned, so he can now help us take this Baron away. So we actually played that, you know, very patiently. We didn't waste, we didn't waste the opportunity by going in too hard. It was a very patient play. We found the times to go in, and we just caught them with their pants down, honestly. Like, they overextended, there was miscommunication. You know, you think this play down here that happened twice, where there was miscommunication about what we wanted to do in the Baron fight, you know, you think that just happens to you and your team? Of course it doesn't. There was miscommunication here, there was miscommunication when three people went top and two people went mid. The enemy team is always making mistakes. If you think about it, unless you're the main reason your team is making mistakes, the enemy team, statistically speaking, will be making more mistakes than you if you are so perfect as you think you are. Of course, I know every single one of you deserves Challenger, but basically just keep your eyes out. You know, the enemy team are not perfect players. I mean, don't think of them as this, you know, insurmountable objective that you can't reach because, oh my goodness, you know, they're playing so well or any of that crap. No, come on, guys. You know, you have more than enough opportunity to win over these fights, to outplay your opponents. Of course you can do it. Now, this is a really ballsy play here, which ends up being a pretty good team fight if I remember correctly. I just end up trying to, like, dump over to this Fiddlesticks, and I just kill him, like, pretty much solo. I just literally jump on him and kill him. Morg helps a little bit with the engage, though. And then I get another re-engage jump off onto, like, a lot of the enemy team, catch them out of position, and we manage to kill, again, 4 people. So, honestly, if you're ahead, and, you know, you're not all by yourself, being aggressive has a lot of benefits. This is why I always say it's better to be too aggressive than too passive, because when you're making plays, you'll be surprised how much good stuff happens when you force the enemy to react to you, when you force them to make the play, to play against you, because they'll make a lot of mistakes if you do that. Like I was saying before, the enemy team's always making a lot of mistakes. I want to quickly touch upon my item build here and just talk about the Thornmail. That's because it just gives me a huge amount of damage versus that Misfortune. I don't need to worry about her at all. Now this is a team fight which actually goes pretty bad for us, because Shen doesn't have his ulti here, so this is entirely a 4v5 if we fight this. I get out of here. Peace. But, you know, we dedicate a bit too hard, and this is the perfect fight for Fiddlesticks. So I do want to credit him for that, because Fiddlesticks, as a champion, wants to counter-initiate, like I was saying earlier. And we went really hard on here. He's kind of similar to Zac, except Zac is good at initiating, whereas Fiddle's good at counter-initiating, because he doesn't have as much CC as Zac. So, you know, I jumped in, and then Fiddle jumped in after me, and, you know, it all ended a bit ugly, honestly. But I still stay around. You know, I'm on, like, a lot of health because I'm Zac. I don't really die. Zac's sustain is crazy, even when he's just farming the jungle, because he gets to use a lot of his blobs, a lot of his abilities for his blobs, and, you know, he just heals crazy amounts, especially with the Spirit Visage. So, like, I'm literally on full health. I mean, you saw how much health I was when I was running away here, or like mini Zac. I was on like 10 health. Now I'm full health again. So, yeah, clearing the jungle is great for Zac's sustain because of his passive. And let's see how much gold I've got here. So I've got 2,000 gold. Now I'm probably going to go for more health here, maybe some more MR, though I don't know. I haven't even got 3k health, so in my opinion, okay, I am going for more MR. I'm going for an Aegis here. This isn't a bad buy, even though Morgana's got an Aegis, because again they have a lot of magic damage on their team. The reason why I like this, I like going double Aegis, whatever you want to, or Aegis, or however the hell you want to pronounce it. I like doing this, or Locket, I guess it would be as you upgrade it, because not only does it allow you to have like 2 different ranges with your with the auras, so you can have one person in the back line and one person in the front line. So Maul can peel, for example, and I can initiate. But also it stacks on the 2 people that have it. So if I have a Locket, it's giving everyone an aura on my team, all 4 people. If Morg has a Locket, it's giving everyone on her team the aura, 4 people. So, but you know, it doesn't overlap on people who don't have a Locket. So maybe I haven't explained that very well. But what I mean by that is me and Morg are getting double benefit from this Aegis of the Legion when we stand close to each other. So it's not that bad, honestly. Now it looks like another team fight is about to break out here, so I just paused it. I'm going to initiate onto the team here. I get feared, which is really annoying. But this fight, honestly, looks like it could end fairly badly for us. I'm just going to run it through and then see what happens. Although, if Ari comes in late, yeah. So this fight does end pretty bad for us. Now I'm going to explain, I want to go back and just look at why this fight ends so bad for us, because really this fight should end, you know, we're really far ahead, and this is the initiation we want. This is why this should work well. I'm going to explain why this should work well for us, and why it doesn't. So, first, right, I'm going to pause here as I'm charging up my initiation. Right, first thing to note is that Ari isn't in this fight. Like, to begin with, she's not at all, which is bad, because she kind of wants to jump in with initiation to try and catch someone and pick someone off like right away. So that's the first thing. Secondly, these 3 targets are 2 targets which I don't really care about. Aurelia and Thresh aren't really people I want to initiate onto. Cassiopeia, of course, is great, but it's hit and miss. These aren't really our priority targets. Next thing is that right now, I kind of want the Shen ult on me. You know, that's coming in a bit too late, but that's a very minor thing. And the most important thing is that we have no vision of Fiddlesticks. Playing versus Fiddle, you need to know where he is, because if he ults onto you, if he counter-initiates, you're screwed. You're probably going to lose a team fight if you initiate and Fiddle can then initiate back onto you and get a really good ultimate off. That's just the way it goes. So without knowing where Fiddlesticks is, very risky. And to be honest, we should know where Fiddlesticks is. Look at our vision here. I mean, we've got really good vision in their jungle, but you know, I don't even know. Maybe Fiddlesticks ran through here, so we should know him with just bad awareness. Maybe he ran through the lane. Maybe we should have a ward in the lane or something. You know, again, we should know where he is, to be honest. You can't really fight these team fights without knowing where Fiddle is, because that's going to not end well for you. Now, as I jump in, okay, Fiddlesticks is right here, so he wasn't even hiding in the background. So he's right in the open, which isn't a perfect start for him, but he does fear me. And this is bad, because I have the potential to get 5 people bouncing on top of 5 people here. But I get feared. And that's really bad for me, because it means I, you know, completely screw up my engage. And I also, second thing, as this like transgresses here, I have Morgana's shield on me, which to be honest at this point is pointless. Too late. If I had the shield to begin with, good, because then I can bounce on everyone. Right now it doesn't matter. Like I've done my piece. It doesn't really matter how I go about things now. And of course we just see now Fiddlesticks has run down here, so he's going to ult on top of us, and that's going to be bad for us. Morg should be saving her shield for someone else though. Maybe herself even, because she can't even ult in here. Like, great. I'm not... Yay, Cassiopeia didn't stun me, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not doing anything here anyway. So, this is going to end pretty badly for us, because me and Shen are just in the back line, but Fiddle ults in and then flashes into the middle of 3 people. Now, like I said, the difference between these team fights with these people when they have Zhonya's and when they don't is massive, honestly. You'll see this Fiddle does a lot of work, because not only does he get into the back line and do a lot of damage to them, this forces them to be very scared and to back off. Like, that's just going to happen. Because they can't just stand in the Fiddle, they're going to die. So it zones them away from the team fight, which then zones them away from me from the back line, which is bad. So as you can see here, Lucian tries to do something, but both him and Ari, look, it's both him and Ari immediately run away, but they have to. And, you know, Fiddlesticks again uses his Zhonya's, so they can't just instantly blow him up. And all the time I've been, like, you know, tanking these guys up. Late game, like I said, Cassiopeia turns into a machine gun. She does so much damage. Aurelia hurts a lot as well. I'm dead. Like, I bought, the most amount of time I could for my team. I'm gone. Rest in peace. I'm dead. Literally, I'm just out of this fight already. So what this means is that then the enemy carries can just turn around, jump onto our carry, sorry, and then it's just a huge map up. This flash ult from Morg is, I don't know. That's way too late. It doesn't do anything. And again, without Zhonya's, you flash ult in as a support Morgana. Yeah, good luck surviving that tether period. So this fight, excuse me, ends up being a 3-for-1 in a fight which really we wanted to win. Of course we wanted to win that fight, but I mean, in a fight which we should have won. Although thankfully we get a catch onto Aurelia and she dies, and Lucian almost, Fiddlesticks almost dies as well. But this and Casio. Okay, so this, I mean, the team fight we lost pretty handily, but then the enemy team just throws it pretty hard as well. Again, of course, people make a mistake in this game, guys. You think people don't? I mean, this is Diamond. If enemy teams in Diamond make this many mistakes, imagine what it's like at the lower leagues. So yeah, I mean, that was bad for us, but it's still the end of the world, of course. So I'm looking for, I'm just going to farm up a little bit more here. I kind of want to get level 16 soon, so I get my next rank in my ultimate. I see Aurelia around here, and I kind of want to go for her, but I also realise, probably a bit risky because enemy team seems to be collapsing. So we're buying a little bit of time for the Shen to come in here. I'm going to rewind this and just, because it looks like another initiation. I'm going to pause as we get into the fight. So I'm charging up my E. This is where I want to pause it. So again, another team fight. I'm not going to spend as much time breaking this one down, I don't think, because I've spent a lot of time breaking team fights down. I don't want the video to go on too long. But basically, you've got Cassiopeia, you've got Aurelia. This is the people, okay to be targeting here. I think we learned from last fight, it's Aurelia, we do want to kill her. And then as we're going to see here, the back line, we have, we basically just split them up. Now, Fiddles here is going to be ulting, but he's not really going to get any good targets if he does ult from there. Does Shen have his ult up? He does. So he's going to look for a target to go in on. Now, I don't know whether, Shen hasn't even ulted me yet, and that's good. Like, I'm only 3 people here. And Shen should be choosing... Now Shen's choosing a target to go in on. I don't know who he's ulting. Is that Morg or... I don't know. But he doesn't even get in on the fight because he ults way too late. Now he's going to TP in, which is... Yeah, good. So he just needs to stay bot lane. So we needed Shen to ult earlier and get into that fight. That's really why that fight marked up. Again, I'm getting into the back line really well, but no one is kind of helping our back line from the Fiddlesticks, from the Aurelia. So I feel like I'm doing my job this fight. But... I need to... Well, I'm kind of doing my job. If the team comp were a little bit different and there wasn't like an Aurelia and a Fiddlesticks on the enemy team who are just going to just jump into our backline, this would be fine. But because of that, I should probably adjust who I'm initiating onto. I'm initiating onto their front line and then zoning 3 people out for as long as I can, which in general is kind of what you want to be doing as a tank. But it's not working for our team because... they just jump into our backline and we end up getting screwed. Now, Fiddlesticks is top here, which means this is the perfect engage for us, and I don't really know why I'm not going in. I guess maybe I was a little bit scared, or I was a bit scared I wouldn't get follow-up or something. It doesn't really matter. I didn't go in on it in the end. But yeah, Fiddlesticks is now round, so we have to be very careful of him. I'm just I'm just looking around, and I just don't want to dedicate too hard right now. So I'm doing Wolves here, and the enemy Thresh gets in a little bit too hard here, but Fiddlesticks ults in. Thankfully, only Morgana dies here. I mean, at least that's some kind of silver lining. And then we get... Shen goes in, we catch people, Ari's going balls deep, and then I'm coming in and doing what I have to do as a tank, which is be the brick wall that separates, my backline from the front line, chasing people down, catching them. And at this stage of the game, this means GG. We can just push forever now, because we've got... we have 2 tanks as well who can tank everything up, so there's no way we're going to lose this one from here on out. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I tried to put a lot of analysis in this one, specifically with the team fights. I hope you, hope you appreciate the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry if it was too long. If you did like it, feel free to give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe to me for educational content. You can find me on Facebook, on Twitter. Catch me streaming on Twitch as well. All those things in the description, of course, guys. Let me know what you thought about having this little webcam down here. Don't know if you can see Shed. So you want to go say goodbye? He's sleeping, whatever, he doesn't care. But thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next video.